physical reaction where he puts his hands on his knees and, he kind of makes a decision with the ref, them together, that he should not continue to fight.
Well, and what we see is the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight. When Pacquiao afterwards had said that his wrists were broke and all these things were going on, it's like, okay, so then why didn't you stop in the middle of the fight instead of giving yourself an excuse afterwards?
Well, that's because Manny Pacquiao is an absolute warrior.
But see, though, that's not the way it's viewed, though. And predicated upon what we're discussing right now. See? So the warrior mentality, does it matter if you're going to use it as a reason why you lost the fight later on?
Touche. Touche. I guess case by case basis.
Exactly. That's what it has to be. See? Like that kid in there, right? We're just not going to happen.
We're right here. We're watching.
Right.
We know what we're looking at, and that's why we get to help the fans watching online. Now, this fight, I know this young man, Bernard Thomas, both an MMA fighter and a boxer.
Does that benefit anybody when they train for both? When it really boils down to it, there are a lot of people, especially MMA fighters, that tell other MMA fighters this does not benefit your career to try and box.
Well, absolutely not. Now, you think of the few people that could play two sports at the same time. It's only been a few.
Deion Sanders, Bo Jackson.
Absolutely. Now, that's how those two, to every person that can't do it, the numbers are astronomical. So, that's why you see the tendencies of quarterbacks not to have the build of the rest of the football players, and that's because there's no time to do both. There's no time to do two positions that aren't very similar. There's no time to master one if you're trying to master two. So absolutely not. I like an MMA fighter like Bernard, great wrestler, great striking skills. He can kick, he's tough, good jiu-jitsu. And so the boxing to me is just hands practice. Oh, and I tell you what.
He's looking fairly good so far through round number one, I think.
I think he sees something. I think he can sense, a little bit overconfident. Bernard takes a shot over the top and overhand left. But the switching stances, the really winging style, it makes you very vulnerable.
Well, and he is
knocked out.
He is making Quarter chase him around the ring, that is for sure. And, of course, expending a lot of energy in doing so. And also walking into a lot of heat as well.
And Colby is relentless with his pressure. He will walk through the guard. He will continue to throw punches. He'll throw them from either stance, southpaw, orthodox, square. He's dangerous everywhere. He's had lots of fights. And he's here to win. He is nobody's opponent. Colby is no one's opponent.
Colby Cortier coming out of the red corner, black trunks, no trim, blue trunks, white trim, is Bernard Thomas out of the blue corner this evening. Again, we are live on Cardin Combat Sports, Universal Combat League. I'm Drew Duncan. He is Austin Ford. We are live in Lawrence, Kansas. Guys, hit us up in the comments section for any comments or questions that you may have for Austin or myself. Nikki Booker said that he liked the term RSC as well.
And I can see Bernard getting away from the game plan. If the game plan was to box, he's getting away to the game plan. Colby's game plan was to draw Bernard into a firefight, into a brawl, and the fight is going his way, according to plan to Colby, I'm assuming. And you can see Colby's brawling style has brought Bernard into a brawling style. Bernard is open for some wide shots over the top.
Why is it, do you think, though, that Bernard is so willing to oblige him when he should just stick to his game plan, so to speak?
Because he's a fighter. And a fighter is typically going to fight with a little more emotion than someone who's a competitor, someone who just competes in fighting. But, Bernard, in his brain, he's got options. he could just take him down. He could
Because
kick
of the
him.
MMA.
He could kick him in the leg. He could knee him in the body. And I am not liking Bernard Thomas's body language in the corner here. He just, to me, his body language screamed. I don't even know if it was that I'm tired.
Who would you give that round to?
I can't call it. I can't call it because it was very, very even. Let's say I'm a judge and I can't decide right away. I still have 3.5 seconds to make a decision. And so I watch the fighters go back to the corner. Who's willing to let their guard down and show us what actually happened in there? Bernard kind of gave us a glimpse into his mindset right now. So I'm going to go with Quarter on the... I want to give Quarter the round. He's off the stool first.
Austin Ford takes quarter round at number 1. Man, I don't know.
It was that tough to score.
I'm telling you. That,
And you see the athleticism and the pop from Bernard. But will it continue throughout the round? A clean left hand through the guard. You know, some guys have their hands up, but the elbows aren't in and the gloves aren't blocking the path that the punches are coming. So in his mind, his hands are up. He is safe, but he's actually Swiss cheese.
would you like to see a little bit more defense from Courtier?
No, absolutely not. He's looking to overwhelm Bernard with pressure. Oh my goodness. That straight left hand is landing clean.
Oh, exactly what you made mention of earlier, an MMA takedown.
We saw half guard there for a moment and in a boxing match. But you can see a little bit of tactics, definitely pressure here. Bernard is still dangerous. He can affect Colby with punches still at this point, but I see the pressure is causing Bernard to make mistakes in his footwork, to make mistakes in his guard. He's drawn into the firefight. You see Bernard kind of stepping around in post holes, the fatigue showing on his legs, and I promise you, Colby, he's picking up on every single sign of weakness from Bernard.
Well, it does appear to me that left is really working for Colby.
Oh, goodness gracious. It is landing. What happens is, when you get hit clean with the same shot, whether it's hard or not, you start to question on why do I keep getting hit with that?
Right.
Why can't I see that? And that will make a fighter feel unsafe. And when you feel unsafe, you're going to get cautious. Or you may take some chances.
Whoa, a couple good shots there from Bernard, though.
Colby rolled with all those. Not a style that I would recommend teaching to any young fighter. But he rolled with all those punches, and he's eating all these shots from Bernard. And Bernard, I think, may be affected by the fact that he's hitting Colby cleanly, and Colby is smiling.
Right, I was gonna say and there he is. He tries to go with an MMA takedown. Colby knows that he's got it right here.
They're gonna stop this fight, and if they don't, it's dangerous. Stop the fight.
Well, we've got Brody
This
Conroy.
is professional boxing. This is professional boxing. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Colby is coming in now with
It's
some
the left
serious
hand over
heat.
the top. The left hand over the top of the right glove. He needs to hold. He needs to clinch.
He wants to take him down, obviously, you can tell, and he's incapable of doing so, and he's got him in an awkward position to get there. Strong lefts. Boy, he is full throttle right now, going directly after him, clinching and holding on for everything, trying to... Boy, this fight may not make it to round number 3. Bernard is clearly exhausted.
I don't think it's so much... it's a combination
Boy,
of
he
exhausted...
is. His legs are
and
wobbly.
concussed. I don't think he'll recover coming out. I don't think he'll recover from those shots.
The officials looking like he is content to let this thing go. Right now, it may be a coaching decision at this moment.
No, I can tell you, he's got fighters in his corner. You see Chuka Willis. There is no option to stop the fight over in that corner right now. There's no option.
Well, to me, I'm seeing a little bit of the Mayweather-McGregor effect, the wobbly legs towards the end of the fight, the incapability of being able to stand. One of the things I talked about with Matt Murphy earlier was the difference in training for an MMA fight and training for a boxing match, and I think that we're seeing that right here, Austin.
Absolutely. His brain wants to use the tools that he can have to protect himself, but then his brain remembers the rules. So it's tough. Colby is a boxer. You know, I don't know if Colby has any MMA fights. He may have a couple, but he is a boxer first. Bernard is an MMA fighter first.
Here's how I could relate it. A lot of people always talked about Tebow's throwing motion. If you really watched any of his full games, you could tell there were times where in mid-throw, he would seriously stop and think to himself, oh, remember your exact motion. And it would cause a lot of plays to go awry as a result from that pressure. And I think that, oh, clean shot right there
But
from
again,
Cartier. Boy, he is.
And celebrating,
Wow.
but this is the one that didn't hurt Bernard. He got caught with on the weak plane with his feet square, and so the punch landed directly to catch him off balance.
Boy,
He's not hurt from that.
he's going for a clinch again.
He's not hurt, but Bernard's in this fight right now. And Colby, he makes enough mistakes to still be at risk because Bernard's an athlete. There's still a chance. Double underhooks. But Bernard with his mouth open, that's not good. A clean shot on the jaw, you know, you're just asking to get your jaw broke. And here we should see the cut around to the back. He had a chance to take his back.
Yeah, he did actually.
He didn't do it. And I think we'll see a little bit of fatigue from Colby.
Oh, another clean left there from Colby. And right now, boy, it is target practice.
And I think those are fatigue in those legs. Colby slaps a little bit. They're not too clean of punches.
Yeah, he's there. He's avoiding it now. He won't allow him to clinch at all.
And
Worked his way out of that weak clinch attempt.
A
A
clean
clean
liver
shot right there. Two of them back to back. Liver, then right to the head. Boy, another one right there. This is getting ugly for Bernard, but he is maintaining somehow in this fight. Boy, another strong one right to the body.
It's the lack of technique from Colby. He's slapping a little bit. So as the wrist bends during contact, the power leaves from the flex of the wrist. You know, if he was a little bit more of a puncher, I think we would see Bernard.
Boy, Bernard is really.
Body shot.
If you're the ref right now, are you thinking about stopping this?
No, absolutely not. Because this is a professional fight. This is a professional fight. Now, at this point,
Bernard's legs are clearly wobbly, and another shot. I'm telling you, then he just comes through in the towel,
and
no more.
And just a.
Boy, look at him though right now. Bernard is clearly, barely just able to stand at all. He's trying to keep himself balanced on the post over there.
And I think he's more disappointed in his conditioning, you know, and the outcome of the fight.
Does that come from your cardio?
Absolutely.
Or lack thereof?
Absolutely. Colby, I don't know how much Colby trained, but he is relentless in his pressure, so I'm guessing he hits the bag like that, he spars like that. He probably trains longer than he should and for more rounds than he should, but it served him well. It was the pressure of Colby Porter that broke Bernard here.
So let's just give Colby some credit then. Because, okay, we're looking at this fight and we're going, Bernard fought a bad fight. But did he? Or did Colby just go in there and do what he's supposed to do, and that's win the fight?
And again, the goal, I'm going to go ask him right now. But the game plan is to apply relentless pressure with looping shots and to basically make Bernard not box, but to make him to brawl. And then, so it's when you have Colby, who's a brawler, and you've got Bernard, who wants to be a boxer, then he gets drawn into a brawl. Well, it's then who's the better brawler? And that's the guy that's been brawling his whole career, Colby Porter.
So Bernard, with the emotion in his mind, I've got to prove something out here that I can box. That's what lured him into that situation.
Absolutely.
There we go.
And he saw openings in Colby because they were there. But he just couldn't capitalize. You know, it could be a myriad of reasons why we didn't see Bernard performed his potential because there is great potential in Bernard Thomas.
Okay. Well, Austin Ford's going to step in there and try and get a word with our man, Colby Courtier, following that fight. Austin clearly impressed enough to want to jump in there. If you guys have anything that are watching it right now, live on Card and Combat Sports, let us know. I'm Drew Duncan. He is Austin Ford. Don't forget, Universal Combat League is here as well. Matt Chavez checks in. Good win, Colby. Momentarily here, we are going to turn it over to our in-ring announcer, Stephen Bear, who's going to give us an official decision.
Ourselves one hell of a fight. Give both these guys a big round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, the referee stops this about 2 minutes and 22 seconds of the third round. Your winner by TKO out of the red corner this evening, Colby Courtier.
Hey, quick question.